अब शाहरुख खान 40 साल के बाद क्या कर रहा हो, कुछ सोच रहे होंगे कि क्या करना है, या अभी भी लड़कियों के आगे पीछे भागना है?
नहीं, अब तो लड़कियां पीछे पीछे भागेंगी। आपकी उम्र में लड़कियों के आगे पीछे भागना पड़ता है, मेरी उम्र में तो लड़कियां पीछे भागती हैं।
You know when you're at a party and you say something awkward and later you replay that moment in your head 100 times over. Yeah. Now imagine doing that but with cameras on you and millions of people ready to judge you forever. That's what happens in Bollywood interviews all the damn time. Actors spend years building this polished, perfect image, but the truth is they're human too. They have vulnerable moments just like the rest of us. But because they're in the spotlight, one slip, one slightly off comment, one frustrated reaction, and suddenly it becomes a whole narrative, entitled, out of touch, problematic, all based on one vulnerable second that got caught on camera. And look, I get it. Sometimes the moments are really awkward. Sometimes you do cringe a little watching them. But if we're being fair, these are just glimpses of the real pressure behind all the glam you usually see. Not everything is scripted, not everything is perfect. So today we're not here to roast anybody, we're not here to cancel anyone. We're just looking at 5 Bollywood interview moments that got a little too awkward because even the biggest stars are allowed to be human too. So without a further ado, let's just get into it. Sonam Kapoor on Coffee with Karan. I think one of the most talked about moments on Coffee with Karan has to be Sonam Kapoor's statement way back in season 4. When Karan asked her about the notion of looks and acting in Bollywood, she responded with something that really made people sit up. She said, if you're not good looking, they think that you're a good actor. Now, what Sonam said was perhaps trying to, maybe make a statement that Bollywood does often give more weight to an actor's appearance than their craft. And in some way, there's truth to that. The industry has long been driven by star power, and we often see actors being cast for their image, sometimes even before their ability to act. But there was something about the way she said it that left a lot of people uncomfortable. It wasn't just the sentiment, it was the bluntness of it all. You could see the awkwardness in the room as it unfolded.
The industry is if you're not good looking, they think you're a good actor.
Yeah.
Fortunately for me, the reason I've survived as an industry is because of the critics. Because I don't get bad reviews. बोल दिया यार मैंने ऐसे कर लिया यार. This is not acting. Hello. Just because you look like ordinary and you act loud doesn't mean you're a good actor. And it's also like people feel bad. Yeah, she looks like this. You might as well be a good actress.
That's a fact. Yeah, it's a fact.
Kareena Kapoor Khan. In an interview with the notoriously unhinged Prabhu Chawla, Kareena Kapoor during the promotions of Qurban in 2009 was asked about her bold scenes in the film. While bold scenes are a part of many films today, it's not every day that an interviewer brings it up so bluntly. Now, I have to say Kareena Kapoor truly has the patience of a saint because it's truly a testament to her professionalism to tackle not only a man so hell-bent on getting something out of you or instigating you to the point that you say something and he gets a headline that he has been craving so badly for. When Prabhu Chawla brings up Kapoor's intimate scene with Saif Ali Khan, her then rumored boyfriend, you could see Kareena's discomfort. It wasn't just the question itself, but the way it was asked. So pointed, so focused on the physical aspect of her performance. What's fascinating about this is how these questions were often the norm back in the day, leaving absolutely no room for privacy or dignity of the person sitting on the other end of this table. Truly, truly disgusting.
मजा तो अब आ रहा है। बोल्ड फिल्म मिल रही है आपकी। बोल्ड फिल्में हमारी इंडिया में ये एक्चुअल वर्ड जो है बोल्ड यूज करते हैं क्योंकि हमारी सोसाइटी के लिए थोड़ा कुछ हटके है कि अरे बोल्ड फिल्म आ रहा है, मगर हाउ कम वेस्ट में और अमेरिका में तो कोई ऐसे बोलता नहीं, फिल्म बोलते हैं हम लोग उसको। ये बोल्डनेस ये मैसेज क्या है इसके अंदर? ये एक्चुअली बहुत हाइप किया गया है, ऐसी बात बिल्कुल है ही नहीं। दिस इज फॉल्स न्यूज के सिनेमा का सबसे लंबा किस्सा।
Karan Johar. So remember the time Karan Johar was at LSE in 2017 and decided to stir the pot just a little bit more by talking about Kangana Ranaut? Yeah, that happened. Now let's backtrack a little. The whole Karan vs Kangana saga has been brewing up for a little while at this point. It all started when Kangana called Karan out for promoting nepotism on Coffee with Karan. And it was like opening Pandora's box. After that, every time Karan and Kangana were in the same conversation, you could practically feel the tension in the air. It was what he said at LSE was obviously petty, it was bold, but honestly it was also just a classic Karan Johar move. He knew that the world would eat this up, and well, we did, because that's how Bollywood works sometimes. You can't escape the drama, and frankly, it is often the only thing that gets people's attention at this point.
So I didn't get what she meant. But she meant movie mafia. What does she mean? Because what does she think we're doing? Sitting and not giving her work? Is that what makes us mafia? No, we do that because by choice. You know, not because we do that because I do that because maybe I'm not interested in working with her. That doesn't make me movie mafia. It makes me a man with an opinion. You know, so I mean, I don't get that on certain levels.
Priyanka Chopra on the Dax Shepard podcast. One of the rarest moments in recent times where I've seen an actor being truly authentic about their career, in hindsight looking confidently at the trajectory of their career and their body of work, both good and bad. It has to be Priyanka Chopra on Dax Shepard's podcast, I think in the March of 2023. The conversation honestly isn't even a dramatic rant or anything. She in the podcast just casually is talking about her Hindi film career and what made her pivot to Hollywood when she was at such a comfortable place in her home industry. At one point she admits that Bollywood kind of pushed me into a corner. I wasn't getting good work, I had beef with people, I needed a way out. And you could tell she wasn't even trying to get sympathy, she was just being real about it. And what's crazy is that she said it all in just such a casual tone, but it hit harder than any spicy interview clip ever, because you realize this happens all the time. People just don't talk about it because in Bollywood everyone's scared of burning bridges. Like, imagine reaching the top and still feeling you have to literally leave the country to get a fair shot. That's actually insane.
But I was terrified when those 6 movies didn't do well because I'm not a Nepo baby. I didn't have that kind of support which exists in a big way in Bollywood movies. You know, they are multi-generational actors that come in and get multiple opportunities versus the ones that come in from outside. You don't have your uncle making a new movie for you just because their last one tanked.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to get it and you have to like hustle for it. I'm not the best schmoozer anyways. So that was like, I'm never going to be cast in a big movie again. And that was one of the big reasons why I took on a movie on my shoulders. It was out of necessity, which turned out to be career defining for me. But
this life is so wonderful? Like,
I was...
Urvashi Rautela. Urvashi Rautela, I think, is a weird case when it comes to being a modern day actor, because according to her, she has in the past decade assimilated a filmography that is unlike any other. Which is weird because I cannot name a single good thing about a filmography which is a collection of some of the most random sequels and originals that I've ever seen. But let's talk about the Urvashi moment that had the entire internet doing a double take. You remember when Saif Ali Khan got stabbed in January 2025? Yeah, major news and not that long ago. But instead of, offering some support or showing any real sympathy, Urvashi decided to give us a real gem of a response. Now, Urvashi is no stranger to controversy. She's built a brand on her luxurious lifestyle, designer bags, and those very look at me moments. But this time, this was just next level tone deaf. Because in the wake of a serious incident where a famous actor was literally stabbed, Urvashi was caught on camera talking about her movie collection, her rings, and her watches. Listen, it's one thing to be flashy, we get it, that's our brand. But there's a time and a place, and this wasn't it. Sometimes it's okay to just take a moment to acknowledge something serious without, turning the spotlight back on you. And unfortunately, I think for Urvashi, this felt like another one of those cases where the attempt at keeping the glam was just a little too much, a little too inappropriate.
जी अभी मैंने अभी पढ़ा कि अभी वो फाइनली ठीक हो गए हैं, बट इट इज़ वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट. कितना ज़्यादा देखभाल करना पड़ता है. अभी आप खुद ही सोचिए, डाकू महाराज की 105 करोड़ की सक्सेस के बाद माय मदर, इन्होंने मुझे गिफ्ट की डायमंड स्टडेड रोलेक्स, एंड माय फादर ने मुझे ये मेरे हाथ में पहनी हुई छोटी सी मिनी वॉच गिफ्ट करी. ये हाँ, इट इज़ लाइक अ गिफ्ट. लाइक अभी 105 हमने पार कर दिया है, तो इट इज़ जस्ट अ गिफ्ट. बट देन हम कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं फील करेंगे बाहर ओपनली या कुछ भी. वी कैन नॉट वेयर कुछ भी, लाइक एक तरीके से एक इनसिक्योरिटी हो जाती है कि कोई भी एनीबॉडी कैन अटैक अस. तो वो बहुत ज़्यादा अनफॉर्चुनेट है जो वो हुआ.
And that's it for the video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to share your thoughts down in the comments below. And also don't forget to smash the like button and subscribing to the channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.